Right.
We're back. Hoping Steam just decides to work. It's very annoying compared to Twitch. In the meantime, I guess we'll just start this campaign. Which is a new one for the 5th anniversary.
Yeah, Astrotron designed it.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Our wonderful friend, Astrotron, who has done many things for the game, both community-wise and for us. And we're just going to try to build a bit here. It's not a very big scenario, so we'll probably change at some point. But we'll see what we can do. To start with, I was just going to jump in head first, and someone thought it would be cool if I tried to build the Mindbender from Galaxyland back in Edmonton, which has been demolished or is going to be demolished because it's just impossible to maintain now.
Have you been on that coaster?
I have a few times. It's not comfortable. It hurts. It's maybe one of the most painful coasters I've ever been on.
Oh, it's the really tight one in the hall?
In the mall, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember you showing me that one, I think.
So I think we have enough room here for it. It's a pretty compact, like dense ride, but we need like room. So all these plants have to go. Gone. In the meantime, there are some things we can talk about here, but if you want to ask questions, feel free. We will also be doing an AMA on Reddit tomorrow. So 9 a.m. Pacific. I don't know what time that is or how long that is from now because I'm also thinking in European time. But yeah, so if you want to ask a question on stream, you can, or you can wait, put it on Reddit or in Discord or whatever makes you happy. All right, I just need to get my bearings. Also, looks like Steam is live. That is good.
The scenario was made by Astrotron. That's why it looks so good.
I'll do a little terraforming here.
Hey, we got the sandbox, so we got all this stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah. We should mention this scenario will come out soon. We're putting it in the game.
Yeah, it should be in an update after the stream.
Yeah, it's not like a save game. It's actually it's on the campaign map. We will see. There are some. Sam, I don't remember. Are there prerequisites still?
Sorry?
For this level to unlock it.
Right. Yeah, it unlocks if you have beaten the base campaign, and you need both DLCs for it because it uses pieces from the DLCs.
Okay, we need like a few blocks of
See what they have in this park. No food.
It's a bakery, no food?
Yeah.
Alright, this will be an approximation because I can barely remember.
Candy seems appropriate. Some candy. Our favorite coaster, Scared. I'm not sure if it means in the game or in reality, but
I really like. Was it Intamin that made Fly? Was that the one?
No, it's Vekoma.
Vekoma. Okay, well I really like that coaster. That's definitely a top 3. With Terran right behind it. Maybe equal. Hard to place them apart. They're both wonderful. roller coasters. And then Wodan is like the other one. What about you, Seb?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I'm really looking forward to the new coaster in Europa Park that's going to open next year. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I think that one.
And it's right around the corner from me, so easy to get there.
I gotta visit again.
Park have a delivery building?
I think this
lift
hill is too
it's all the
steep
way
for
over
this
there.
coaster. It's got like a very not steep lift hill, which is surprising for how much space it has to take up.
How are we going to handle this? That is a pretty wild turn.
Yeah, it's not a very comfortable ride.
We should.
I have to fudge so much of this thing. I think this is like roughly...
Yeah, let's get some flat rides going while you build this. See.
Okay, this is where it starts to get fuzzy, because this is the drop down into the loop. The first loop, which should be right here. There's like 3 loops. As it comes down, I think that's too steep. And then we go straight for a while. And it's like right next to the station, but there's a loop in front of it still, so... Oh, I kind of wish we had like a slope in between these two. For this specific project. But I can also just... something like this.
Lively Engineer asks, what's one thing you wish you could have added to Parkitect that you didn't have the time for?
There were a lot of things. We planned for like, well, planned is a strong word. We had a lot of ideas written down, like hotels would have been cool.
And
also,
not really a fan of the hotel idea.
No, that was definitely more of the like weirder ideas, right? I just realized the scale's way up, but the station's really long on the Mindbender. The other one was like that the ride operators and stuff would be actual employees and you would have to schedule them and stuff, and that was just like quite complicated for a variety of reasons. And also not very fun, it turns out.
Yeah, the main problem is how do you schedule the workers without leaving anyone at your rides. And it would have been pretty annoying to do, I think. It would have just added a lot of micromanagement.
Yeah, you would have ended up with a lot of just employees not around to do the job.
Yeah. I think for me the biggest one would be sit-down restaurants.
Oh yeah.
With this idea that in addition to the normal small shops, you could also have restaurants the guests could enter and where they could eat, and then the trash from the restaurant would get removed by the delivery tubes. So as an incentive for building the restaurants, or one incentive for building restaurants would be that you would have no trash. And also it would look cool. But yeah. Turned out a bit too much to do in the end, but that would have been a pretty good addition, I think.
Yeah. I think that was the one that we like regretted the most.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I just realized there's a block break here in real life, I think. But I feel like, oh no, these are the trim blocks. Down.
I always put these benches at the corners because I think it looks somewhat cool if there's two benches. Also near hatches is fun.
I might get stuck here. I'm gonna do this.
I'm making good progress now.
Yeah, I'm trying to... It's like a very complicated coaster, so I'm like... trying to read it. This comes around. There's a helix in there somewhere.
And Downey asks, did you have plans for more backstage stuff? That's what sets the game apart from other similar theme park games.
Not really. I think what we have in the game is like what we planned for. You know, like I can't really think of anything that we didn't put in that wasn't like intended for the game. Like the line of sight stuff was cool. We always knew we wanted to do something with scenery like that. The backstage stuff was really important because nobody had really done that. But I can't really think if there's anything that we didn't like manage to get in. I don't know if that's better than me, but
not sure either. No, I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, I think like we kind of did everything we wanted to. Which sounds funny, like of course, like as far as like the base game was concerned, because the DLC had a lot of things that we kind of wanted, like the fireworks stuff. That was important. I guess we I think we wanted to do like a lighting thing, but it was just not feasible with how complicated it was, which is funny that people are working on a mod for that now, because it's very complicated.
Lighting thing?
Yeah, the lighting editor for the rides.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay, we have hit a
I guess we
problem.
kind of did that in the sequencer.
Yeah.
Effect sequencer. But yeah, I agree. If we, if there ever was a Parkitect 2 or so, then backstage stuff would certainly be the most interesting area that could be expanded.
It's such a dangerous thing just to say out loud, Seth.
Yeah, sorry.
Parkitect 2.
No plans, just
Yeah, you can't say that. Hold on, I gotta make sure this coaster can make it here. I kind of like lost track of what I was making.
Oh, Astrotron said he's... Did you hide something on this map? Really? Now I wonder what it is. Didn't notice.
Coaster is actually got surprisingly good speed, but I'm concerned about it right here. Oh, just enough. However, it does immediately go into a drop, so we're okay, I think. Sorry, Seb, I gotta speed it up again. Parkitect Q confirmed? Never! Absolutely not. I mean, I don't really want to talk about like what comes next for Parkitect or like what we're doing with the next game, but like it isn't to say we're like shelving Parkitect. There is a chance we revisit it and stuff like that, but it's not like we're gonna immediately work on a sequel, because when you think about making a sequel to a game, it's very complicated. It's like, what do we do differently? What do we add to it that would necessitate a sequel? Wow, this is barely... and I don't know that we've had like a lot of good ideas there yet to like want to make a sequel. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Sequel would have to be like significantly different to yeah, to make it worth it.
Yeah, because if we just make Parkitect but with a number 2 in there, like to a lot of people that probably just means better graphics, but that doesn't make sense to me, because like we're still a small team. We can't necessarily just improve the graphics or the simulation, because Parkitect still has very complicated simulation for a small team. So it's tricky to think about what exactly that means. At least for me.
Oh, Astro, I found what you hit in the map. That's cool.
What did he do? Alright. This is where this gets very hard, because I need to come down to ground level, this ground level, and put a loop right between these two.
Yeah,
so let's see.
It's going to be a tricky ending. Lively Engineer asks, what's your favorite level in the Parkitect campaign?
I have to like suddenly remember all the levels. I really like... My brain immediately wanted to say Happy Kill Harbor, so I think it's got to be that one.
Totally a very different one. I'm not sure if it's the most liked one. Because it's kind of tricky.
Which one's that?
Happy Kill Harbor.
Oh. Yeah, for me it's hard, but I like that there's a lot of like bad scenery to hide, and that
cool idea.
Yeah, it's just a really cool idea, and I think it's quite unique compared to the others. This turn is not as big as it should be. It should be like...
For me it would be the... I don't remember the name. It's the Tokyo one where you build on the top of the skyscraper.
Oh, the rooftop one.
Yeah, the expansion campaign.
That was another of Silverit's, right?
Yeah. It's just really different.
Alright, so now I have to make this extremely long section of track that does absolutely nothing. I got this wrong, hold on. Because it is just a long straight line of track in the actual coaster too. It was.
Dan asks, is there one player that constantly pesters you to add stuff to the game? Yes. And certain name comes to mind. Yeah.
I don't know if I know that.
That's that. But it's okay.
Yeah, it's like very flattering to have made a game that people think about and care about on that level.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have to figure out like the spacing.
Oh, we got you on misaligned by one tile.
Oh no, I'm doing this.
Oh, okay. Another loop coming? Oh, I see.
Yeah. There's like a path. Except these loops are not like ideal for this. Like the shape is a little. We can use the giant loop size. Hopefully the coaster makes that. Comes out of the loop. Oh god, this is hard to like make out.
I think this plug needs a flat right, but I can't decide which one. Oh no, like a calm flat right, like a dark right.
I can't remember how this thing gets into the helix. Comes down from there.
Right. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, Dan. Should be reading chat more. Oh yeah, Lively. That's all Seb. Seb deserves all the praise for that. 100%.
Oh yeah. Thanks, though. Yeah.
Diligently fixing all the bugs. This is gonna be impossible because of the way I built this, I think. But I could get it right there, I think.
I think the power ride is fitting for this pack. See where I can put it. Really?
I've already made a mockery of this Mindbender. There's supposed to be so much space right here. Maybe we just come right off the loop.
Not a bad recreation though, from what I remember of the layout.
It's a little. This part right here is gonna be the definite.
Kind of recognizable at least.
Oh no, we might be in business. I think it goes like. Oh, we have a very limited amount of space to do that. It actually keeps its bank. I have to cheat, I think, because this line of track is supposed to go through the back here. But I've kind of not really thought about what I'm doing. Hold on. This is a suitably janky Mindbender E-drop. I can see like the bag shape of the Mindbender in here. It's totally wrong though. I think it's just my unwillingness to make like straights, like the long straightaways. Yeah, we need a really long. Yeah, just hide a little sneaky launch in there. I'm not opposed to the idea with how this is going.
Are you really allowed to cheat like that?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I just need like a little bit of like depth here. We do reverse cars? I can't remember. No. Because the Mindbender has one reverse car in the back. It used to have one. This is really stretched out on one side, but it's... It also only ever runs one train. Even though it has all these block brakes, it only ever runs one train because of its storied past. I think it only runs 4-car trains and only one. Well, it runs 2, but they have to sit in the station because of its problems. Well, it's because it crashed and killed people once upon a time. So it's kept that reputation, and since then there have been no multiple trains. And like the true Mindbender, we put a path through the loop, because that's how it works.
That's a big coaster.
Yeah.
That's just what this
I hope it makes it.
Oh yeah.
It hits this faster in real life, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, when you contacted me, you sent me a mock-up of the wooden coaster, and that looked so cool.
Yeah, and actually, it's funny, if you look at the wooden coaster now, it looks exactly like that. It's like really close.
Much thought went into the game.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't as well lit, and the art style wasn't as developed, but it's basically the same. So like from the get-go, we always had this like minimalistic art style in mind.
Yeah.
We were very comfortable with the flat look, with the cartoony stuff and the lighting. Just because as a small team, you have to like be like, okay, what kind of an art style can we reasonably accomplish? And so we picked that one.
Yeah, the art style really came out of necessity. Just keeping it kind of simple, so you can do it as a small team. And also it was inspired by theme park maps, because they oftentimes have this kind of cartoony, untextured look.
Yeah.
And also, oftentimes they are kind of isometric.
I think we kind of nailed that fun theme park map style.
Actually, do you remember this one theme park from Turkey who asked us if they can use Parkitect for their theme park map? Like for the...
That was so long ago, but I do recall something like that, yeah.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
I don't think they ended up doing it, but...
Yeah, that would have been cool, though. The funniest thing about the wood, I just built one here, Sebastian, is like, it was the first ride we designed, really. Even though the steel was the first coaster we made, the wood was the first one we designed. And while the track and the cars look exactly like they should, it took us, I think, years to get the wooden supports to work properly. Because they went through so many different iterations, remember?
They were more 3D modeled in the beginning. It was just flat textures.
Yeah.
And then we thought we really have to keep the poly count low, but it looked so bad.
Well, initially the game wasn't optimized, and Unity was still kind of figuring yourself out. But once you've built all the optimization stuff, the static mesh stuff, we kind of just built like a tile set for the supports, which is like little bricks at the bottom and then the rest of it. It's not perfect, but I think for what like it accomplishes in the game or it exists on a grid, I think it looks really cool. Obviously, we cannot live up to the supports in a game like Planet Coaster or something, but I think we did a decent enough job for like simple auto supports.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. The most difficult part was collision stuff, like making sure the supports disappear the right places where the track intersects, paths intersect.
Yeah.
I'm making sure the ride still looks good if parts of the support disappear.
Looking back at all the coasters, I'm really happy with how they all turned out. Like, they're all somewhat unique. We only have a few viewers, but I'll mention this here because it'll be I think it's an AMA question too, but it's like, why did we pick the rides we picked? Well, it's because like they all had to have some kind of unique aspect to them. We didn't want repeats in rides. So that was like easier to do with the coasters, where every roller coaster has a unique identity. Because manufacturers are trying to make something new and interesting. So you can see every roller coaster has like something going on, either visually or like game balance wise. There's some that are the same, like if you look at the Giga Coaster versus the Hyper Coaster, it's like, well, those are kind of similar. Those are just definitions of height, but it's just like, well, we wanted those two types of like track types and like ride types. And so we found a way to make it work. And Mine Train Coaster doesn't really exist, it's just like an homage to RCT, like... there's one in here. I think the spinning coaster has like the Mack coaster cars. The round ones. Oh, no, inverting spinning coaster, this one, yeah.
That one too, yeah.
Sebastian and I are big fans of Mack rides. Thumbs up. We both like Europa Park. I'm still really proud of the water coaster. I think that one like visually came out really well.
Well, it's really cool too for the water feature, the different physics in the water.
Yeah, how it can split between the track types. It was complicated to do. A lot of those more complicated ones, I remember we were like, should we do this? And then we inevitably just did it. And especially the track switching ones that came in the DLC were pretty complicated, but... How many of the sounds came from real life things? All of them.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, not all of them are from rides, but all of them are recorded sounds that the team in the Shell in the Pit went out and recorded. They're not bought from like, as far as I know, they're not bought from stock audio because part of our Kickstarter was the sound library, right?
Yeah.
That people would get, so it had to be bespoke because we were giving people like unique things. So every single sound effect in the game was custom made by Shell in the Pit by going out and recording like machines or in that one case go-karts. And I think Sebastian, maybe you did record coaster sounds? I don't know if that was you.
No, I didn't, but M did.
M did, yeah. I went with the Shell in the Pit team to record go-karts at a go-kart track, so all the go-kart sounds are from real life.
Yeah, and they also went to, I think it was your theme park in Canada, and they snuck a microphone on the wooden coaster.
Oh yeah, they snuck it on because they didn't want to deal with like getting permission and stuff. That's so long ago. I kind of wish the go-karts could be test ran, Seb. You can just say they're robots.
Actually kind of difficult to build and talk at the same time, it turns out.
It is. I was just thinking about how hard it was to get these sounds to work in the camera we have.
Yeah, that was Also Huldi. This usually sounds kind of the volume is determined by the distance to the camera, but it doesn't make much sense in our game because you can have objects that are really far or really close from the camera because of the perspective. So we had to kind of build a whole custom sound system to make that work.
Yeah, like if I build a tower right, it kind of demonstrates the problem.
Yeah.
If I build this observation tower, put that way up there. This is really far away from that roller coaster in the background, but it still needs to play audio while the coaster in the background is also audible because it's on screen. So there's gotta be like, but that's hard to do because that's not really how game engines are designed to work.
Mm-hmm.
Also, these go-karts were toned down a lot from the actual go-kart sounds because it would be annoying. I think I could have exaggerated the exhaust pipe stuff more. Fun animation. Also had the audio turned down for the stream, but yeah. The go-karts actually had an additional car, which was a tandem car, which was a two-seater. But we had problems making that fit because the cars are very small and the peeps, like, you just can't fit two of them side by side and fit two cars next to each other. So we had to scrap it, and I think it became a prop.
I think it became an alternative car for the car ride.
Oh, it might have, you're right.
Pretty sure we used it somewhere.
Let me find the car ride.
I have a car ride.
Elevator, what a silly thing. We made the elevator because I was adamant we needed a transport ride that demonstrated that transport rides worked, and so we built like maps around transport rides, and then people just didn't use them because they thought they didn't work.
Yeah.
The legacy of RCT, I guess. Shrug. Like, we tried so hard to make transport rides actually useful, and people just didn't even try. Well, some people did, and they realized they did work. I'm trying to hear your car ride. Just build like a funny circle over here. So I want to.
What? Missing in this park.
I'm sure this is not a very good park.
Oh, we don't have a drink stall yet. Oops.
Hey, we got race car in here. There they are, the original tandem go-cars. This is a cool model. I had fun making this one. Has like a little engine in the back. The proportions are all funny because it's a go-kart for these things with the huge heads. This is a lot like that ride in Europa Park where you can change the speed, Sebastian.
Yeah. The ride that has the engines, the real engines.
Yeah. It's kind of like the car ride at Pixar. But I'm old enough to have ridden the original motor car ride that was there before it was cars. The motorway or whatever it was.
Oops. I actually closed the Mindbender.
I mean, the Mindbender is closed because it's gonna kill people.
Oh, okay. No,
Well, I mean, because it gets stuck. But there's a block break, so it can't. But it's a little dangerous.
Oh, good that we have unlimited money because
Yeah, we're in the hole by a lot.
taking a huge loss.
I saw that there was a mod, and this kind of ties into my favorite mod thing, is that somebody made a mega Ferris wheel, and I think that's the funniest thing in the world, because the Ferris wheel is notoriously bad at making guests happy. And internally we called them sadness factories, because guests would get on, and they would leave very unhappy, no matter what we did. We tried to rebalance it, we changed the way it loaded, we changed the speed at which it worked. I think we had to fudge the stats a little bit too, but still it was like objectively the worst ride. And so then someone just mods in a giant one, and it's like, oh, cool. I don't think that's ever gonna make someone happy unless you fudge the stats, right? Like, so it's just kind of funny. Also, fun fact, everybody watching, the only ride to ever make me vomit is a wave swinger.
Hmm. I can kind of see that.
It's just a lot of spinning. I can't handle spinning.
Spinning and going up and down.
Yeah. I miss out on all of these cool like spinning rides. I'm jealous because they all look like a lot of fun, but can't do it.
For me, the swinging ship is always kind of...
Yeah, that's also bad for me. But weirdly, I can ride an inverted ship, the one that goes all the way around. Totally fine.
Hmm.
Like once it starts going all the way around, I'm totally fine. The suspended monorail, fun fact, based off a train in Germany. I don't remember this city. Sebastian?
Yeah.
Guggenheim, you said?
Wuppertal.
Wuppertal.
Yeah, they have right. Well, not really like that, but a suspended monorail going through the city. That's really cool.
It's very unique.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4D Cinema is based off the Science Center in Edmonton, Alberta, where I grew up. So like the core building looks like this, and there is a theater inside. And I like the weird look of the building, so that's why I made it the 4D Cinema, which eventually did become colorable. Right? Originally it was not. And you can still put it in a box if you don't like the way it looks.
Lively Engineer asks what's the inspiration for the Haunted Mansion. I'm not sure if we...
The iconic haunted mansions of the world.
Yeah.
That's how I'll put it. It's the iconic haunted mansion look, the architecture.
Yeah.
I really quite enjoyed making the motion simulator too. That was fun.
That was cool.
And the animation sets right and stuff. I thought we did a pretty good job with dark rides too, which is like weird considering you can't ride the rides in our game. But we felt it was important to like represent what was like becoming very popular in theme parks, which is like modern dark rides like this powered dark ride. And people did great things with them even still, like look at some of these. It would be really hard to do something like this in RCT2, I think. It's been a long time since I played that. Huh. This one's pretty dense and detailed, I like it.
Park needs a water ride.
It does? I'm just looking at rides while you build stuff. I'm just like doing the most uninteresting thing.
We're running out of space, so I'm not sure where to put it.
You can delete this car ride and this wooden coaster. Here, put it here. I think the most complicated ride we made was the river rapids.
It was mostly done by Patrick.
Yeah, that was
a really good job there.
Yeah.
It's a really complicated ride.
Yeah, by far the most complicated thing in the game. Just like the way you can change the width of it, the way it bounces around. We wanted to do a river rapids in your base game, But at the time we were like, this is too complicated. If we're gonna do it, we want to do it right. And so when the DLC came around and Sebastian brought Patrick on, we decided it was a good time, and Patrick did an excellent job, and like this thing is a beautiful ride and like nails the aesthetic of a river rapids and gets all the functionality you would want out of it.
I honestly think it might have the best physics in any theme park game.
You might be right. I don't know. Oh, this is a cool one. I've never seen some of these.
Usually they are kind of cheated and they kind of like run on tracks.
Yeah, they ignore like scenery sometimes, but yours does not. I don't know what Planet Coasters does these days, but like at the time anyways.
It has real physics in parts of it, I think, but also kind of runs on tracks sometimes. I'm not sure, but they did a really good job too. Although the free placement of the bumpers and those is really cool. I don't think anyone has done that.
Yeah, the little rotating bumpers.
Sure.
I think that was because I said to you guys, if we're gonna do this, you have to put the bumpers in.
It's kind of a risky addition because you can totally block the ride.
But that's not our fault.
That's true. Guess I should build a river rabbit stand if we talk about it.
I bought the land over here if you want to.
Can you build a path over here?
Second.
Could probably just use a pre-designed ride because yeah, let's use a blueprint. Going to take way too long to decorate this.
There's some good blueprints.
Yeah, exactly.
I like forgetting the controls all the time. Because I'm so used to our other project, which I will not talk about.
Oh yeah, this one's cool. It's huge.
Alright, we got a path over here. For you to use. Oh wait, that's going to employee part. Now we're good.
Oh, it doesn't fit.
You gotta flatten the
These are
land.
all very big.
There. One thing I find really funny is you can see the cloud outline right here moving across the ground. People get really mad about that, even with as dim as it is. I always thought that was strange. I thought it looked really nice. I thought it was like a cool addition to remind you that there's like clouds in the sky above you and stuff. People got really mad about that. I think you even like toned it down a bit, Sebastian.
Yeah, I always thought it's so toned down that it's not even noticeable.
Let's put lava in the game. I always thought it was funny we put lava in the game and you can just... Oh, it's not deep enough.
That's also done by Patrick.
Yeah. It's a really nice shader.
Yeah. Was kind of inspired by the lava shader in Mario 64, I think.
Like how they get all charred when you put them in there. A bit upset. It's not real lava. It's Happy Co lava. It's just like warm water, colored red. Oh, look at this alpine. This lovely alpine thing.
Oh. Oh, it's indicator.
Oh wow, they went way back there. They went flying, holy crap.
Whoa.
Real physics. I was really happy with the raft model too.
What's going on there?
And it looks like they tried to simulate like a round rapid.
Oh, it's station is a bit weird for this. Yeah, it's a tricky ride. But it's pretty cool.
I really enjoy River Rapids. I think my favorite one in real life is gotta be King's Quest. Or is that what it is? Fantasia Land?
The one at Fantasia?
Yeah.
I think it's called Mystic River.
Right. The castle. Yeah, okay. I like that one a lot. Also, the Europa Park one is really good as well. It's more scenic.
There's also this one at the Efteling that was really cool.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
So long, we didn't really expect that.
It was very long.
Also had some pretty big rapids.
I will say our log flume in this game is not as good as Chiapas
Okay.
from Europa Park. It's pretty. I don't think it can do the drop Chiapas does. Can it? No. No, it's not that kind. We did discuss adding an advanced log flume for it though, I remember that. To do the greater than a really steep drop. That's quite the slope.
Yeah, it's a huge drop.
Into a huge turn. I think the fun part about the water rides is they cut into the terrain, which lets you be pretty versatile with them. So you didn't have to dig a trench or the corner wouldn't tunnel. It's also cool, Sebastian, how the bumpers would rotate the right way.
Yeah, I think they rotate depending on which side of the track you build them on. Yeah, Patrick says yes.
Last time we were at Europa Park, no, Fantasia Land, we rode Mystic Quest. And every time the boat came up to a waterfall or a drop, it rotated so Sebastian would get all of the water. Every single time. All of us were also pretty wet, but he definitely got the most tidal waves of water put onto him. And we did have to pay for the dryer at the end.
Got soaked on every water ride that we went on.
The only time I've ever heard Sebastian yell was when like the third or fourth water hit him and he said, "Oh, come on," really loud.
It got so bad that nobody wanted to sit beside me on the water rides.
I love water rides, they're so funny. I think we're only gonna go for another like 10 minutes here, Seb.
Sure.
So if anybody's got
Good fun so
any
far.
remaining questions.
Yeah.
Any attractions that we wanted to include but couldn't? Would station passing shuttle coasters be too hard to implement, or was it just not something you thought about when making the game? We definitely thought about it. We definitely discussed it.
Mm.
But at the time, like, there was a technical reason for it with the way coasters worked, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Not sure why we didn't add that. Would have been cool.
This is like the shuttle loop, right? That's like a classic design.
Mm.
There was something to do with the logic of what, when a train passed a station, what it decided to do, and how that worked. So, and then the train, they could not come into the station backwards, I think was the problem. So if they left the station and then went backwards into it, like, the game didn't really know what to do about that. I think you could still sort of do it in the game now, but I don't think it works just for logic reasons. Yeah, I think Coaster Anarchy lets you do it. So to give like, because it's been so long, we can't remember the exact technical reason. it was a technical reason, but we did talk about it because people wanted them and we're talking about them. But there was just some technical reason that we'd never had the time to work around or like fix, which is unfortunate because they're really cool.
Yeah.
I hesitate to say we would patch it in now because I have no idea.
Does it just run out of time?
Yeah, that could be it. That's the thing, right? Is like, we don't have, when you work on a video game, you don't have infinite time or money, and eventually the thing has to come out. With Parkitect, we took as long as we could have to make like that kind of game with a really small team on a limited budget. And it, for what, I don't know how we did it. I say this to Sebastian like once a month. It's like, I don't know how we made that game. So it's kind of cool that it ended up the way it did.
I'm pretty happy how it turned out.
Yeah.
It's not a lot I would change really.
I think, let's ask, were there any attractions that the devs wanted to include but couldn't due to constraints or challenges? The advanced log flume was one of them, like the really steep one. I think there may have been some weird flat rides. We had a whole chart for them, like a list and a spreadsheet where we would like discuss which ones would be added. And there were some that were for technical reasons that we couldn't add. Like originally, we had some of the switching track coasters, which came in a DLC. But like technically those are very challenging to add. It's hard for me to name one specifically. Zipper, the classic Zipper ride.
Oh yeah, that would have been
that would have
so
been
hard to animate.
Yeah, because it's mostly a physics-based ride, and it's like it rotates and it has to loop properly, and it just would have been a difficult thing. Were there any scenarios that were cut from the campaign? Astrotron asks this. I can't remember. I don't think we cut that many.
Yeah, I don't think we really cut any, but we had like 1 or 2 maps that were not really a good fit for the campaign, and that we simply didn't add.
Yeah. What would happen was we would get the scenarios delivered to us by either Solverit or who was the other person who made the maps?
Oh god.
I'll have to look in the credits afterwards and credit them, but we had 2 people. I think Astro might have done one, or I'm thinking like of this one specifically. But they deliver it to us, then we decide where they would go on the map and which order they would go in, because we would playtest them all and decide which ones were too hard and stuff like that. Then we'd rebalance them all and like change some of the things that Silverit or Astro or this person, I can't remember the name, I'm very sorry, I will get it in the credits, had done, and we placed them in the map. Which was, at first we had just like a list of where they would go, like this one would go after this one, would go after this one. And then it was my job to place them in a world and build the world around them. And the world looks the way it does in the world map because it's themed after the levels that are there. And that wasn't really decided beforehand. That was decided after we play tested them and put them all together. What was the reason for leaving undo redo out of the game? Technical. It was just very hard, and it wasn't something we designed with from the beginning. And once we were so far into the game, it couldn't just be retroactively added, because it touches every part of the game.
Yeah, that one took us a bit by surprise, because it wasn't really a question that came up a lot during the alpha and beta playtests. Like, nobody really asked about that, or at least not too many people. And then once the game was out, everyone wanted it. But at that point, it was too late to add. Yeah, should have seen that coming, I guess.
Yeah, I think at the time it became like a thing that we were like, oh, we should have done this. Was like,
yeah.
You just can't. You can't just add undo to a game that's mostly done, because like it touches everything.
It has to be built in from the very beginning.
But I can confirm the next game has that.
Yeah, it's definitely one feature that you're very much considering for the next game. because now we know that there's a big demand for that.
What was the biggest technical challenge? This is asked by Distance. Through the development of Parkitect. This is for you, Seb. I just did art.
For the base game, it certainly was the behind the scenes or the decorating stuff. Yeah, that one took us like 2 or 3 years to figure out just how we want to implement that without tanking the performance of the game. Because if you think about what it needs to do, it's kind of crazy. It has to calculate for every path tile in the game which objects you can see and which objects are behind walls and stuff like that. So that's a lot of stuff going on. That was kind of difficult. And then once the game was released, that was certainly the multiplayer. That's usually also one of these things that you don't want to add as an afterthought to a game, and that you want to build in from the start. So that took a lot of time to get working, like half a year of work, I would say.
That's surprising
And
even me.
we had to touch pretty much every line of code in the game to make it happen. That was a really big change.
Yeah, that surprised even me. And then like, we have a bunch of friends in the game design community, and they were like, "Why did you do this?"
Yeah.
It was like just but it worked out. People really liked multiplayer, it turns out, and we're playing it right now, bespoke. That's cool, right? Like, I don't know of many other simulation games that do that as nicely, I want to say. I know Open RCT, Open TTT, they do it, but they're...
Yeah, I think they do it pretty similarly.
Yeah, they do it really well.
Yeah.
They're also open source and like really cool and have a lot of smart people working on them, right? I just want to say for like a for money like video game that isn't like what OpenRCT and OpenTT are, which is not to diminish the accomplishments of those. It's just like I think Parkitect is kind of unique in that respect.
Yeah, not a lot of games do it, which is kind of sad because it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, so fun to build together.
It's also one of my favorite trailers we've ever done. I just like watching people build stuff and maybe helping them build stuff. Like they might build like a cool pond, build like a house over it, and you build a ride through it. Like it's cool, the collaboration that can come from that. The game was always about, at least the multiplayer is about collaboration, but even like the main game was about collaboration in the sense that a lot of the restrictions were done intentionally to encourage creativity. I think a lot of our levels were too big, but a lot of the smaller ones, like especially in the DLC, really encouraged you to like use the space creatively, and kind of that's kind of what the behind the scenes stuff does as well, and all the other limitations that we put on the player. All very intentional for the design of the game. Concake says expecting a new DLC or announcement of Parkitect 2. Sorry, no. Sorry, nothing.
Sorry.
No Parkitect 2. No DLC either at this time. Maybe like...
Yeah, busy working on the game.
Yeah. Seb and I have talked about like, hey, maybe one day we'll like look at this and like add to it, but I don't want to confirm anything. Like, it's hard to say where we'll be in a year or something like that. But you know, there could be surprises. You never know.
Also,
Not confirming anything.
yeah.
And you tell us more about your next game? Not really. Keep an eye on the devlog. Once we get through our prototypes that we want to talk about between this and that game, we will definitely be doing devlogs for it, because that was pretty cool for Parkitect. We really enjoyed doing that. It went really well. People are very interested if the games are made. So we'll be doing that, and then you might hear more about it next year. Knock on wood, we'll see. Game development is a weird thing. Takes a long time. Yeah, we'll see.
I guess what we can say is that it's kind of the gameplay is kind of like Parkitect in a way. Like it's a mix of management and creative building.
Yeah. But also it's nothing like Parkitect. So
Yeah, it's not a business simulator.
yeah. But it is in the respect that you are looking down at things from a camera and building stuff and managing things. But it's not what I don't think it's what people have. Maybe some, but I don't think it's what people are expecting from us. It's very special to us and like unique and interesting. We didn't want to make another like theme park game. Yeah, it's. I'm very curious what people will think.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's all I really have or want to talk about on that list. So unless there are any final questions in chat here or anywhere, I think that'll be it. I haven't seen anything on Steam, so that's cool. Mostly just Twitch asking questions. So, last chance, going for a couple more minutes here for final questions or comments in general. I forgot if we could ping. Oh yeah, we can. The ping feature. I don't know many people that use this. It's really cool. I thought it was a really cool feature. Like, oh, look at this cool coaster I built.
It's pretty useful.
Yeah, I'm glad we put it in. Are there any pipes in the? No. No pipes.
Oh, there was a whole other big area that we could buy. I didn't know.
Yeah, I
this.
just bought it. Yeah, I just flattened it out. We never used it. It's a cool scenario. I like it. I don't actually know what the goals are because I haven't like. Oh, what's this doing over here? Oh, I guess I turned off goals.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Unit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very nice thing to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope everybody likes what we're coming up with next.
And the only reason we could keep working on this game for so long is because of the players and because so many people stuck with the game for so long.
Yeah, I'm really happy that it has such a passionate community.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty cool and nice. And they make really cool stuff that I could never build in this game. Not in a million years. So I'm really happy that it gained an audience like that. It's not something I expected going into it. I guess it turns out when you build a theme park construction game after a very long time of there not being one, it goes over pretty well. People tend to like that. But I'm glad people liked our take on it because it's a little unique. I'm just gonna go to the main menu here, so this might boot you out, but I saved.
Okay.
So I think it's over here you put it on the right side of the campaign map.
Yes.
Yes, there will be a thing over here if you have both DLCs and you have done both campaigns, or is it something else?
If you have both DLCs and beaten the base campaign.
Okay, the
You don't
base campaign.
have to 100% the base campaign, but you have to beat all of the levels.
Okay. Just a fun little.
Actually, no, you don't have to beat all of them. You just have to beat the last one.
The haunted
So you
one?
can have, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm really proud of this map too. I like the little plane that you can fly. There's stuff to click on. The cars. And I forget now because it's a 100% map, but the things that appear when you beat it I thought was cool. So you're kind of like filling out this little diorama as you go.
Yep.
Fun
Little
stuff.
reward for beating the scenario.
Yep. I clicked immediately on the peep tornado. My favorite bug. If anybody's wondering what my favorite bug is, it was this one. I met Sebastian about oh, there's the art that I did. There's the art test we were talking about. That's what I did. The early one.
We were talking about.
Huh. 10 years ago, almost. Oh yeah. Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have to find the name of the other person who made the levels.
Yeah, the plane doesn't usually follow the mouse, but you can click on it and then it does.
It was
Put up.
campaign artist. Joshua Charks.
Yeah.
Did an excellent job, I think, on some of the main campaign levels.
Yeah, I think you did like almost half of them.
Yeah, and then Silver was all this DLC,
And the other half of the base campaign.
which is a very abstract DLC. The
Kind of.
accurately rendered black hole.
Yeah, that was also Patrick. I think you can click some stuff on here too. I'm not sure what it was.
These gears should be spinning.
Huh.
Must be an old bug if it's still there.
I'm not sure if they're supposed to. Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can click on the cookies. Oh yeah, you can spin the donut. Patrick loves donuts. This clicky stuff is like something we really like, and there'll be more of that in the next game. And there's the rocket. You can click on the rocket too.
Oh, yeah. Good reuse of the plane analogy.
Yeah, it only follows for a set amount of time though, and then you can fly it around.
Yeah.
Is there a UFO? I don't know if there is a UFO. Unless you meant this one, Lively. I don't know where it went. It flew away. Oh, Celeste Mountain. This is in the game and part of the main campaign because we know the Celeste developers, XOK. They're pretty cool friends of ours. So they graciously allowed us to use Celeste Mountain as a level in our game. And also, one of our artists, Gabby, worked on Celeste as well. She did the map, the low poly map for Celeste. Strawberry.
I think there's also a guest circling around the moon that you can click.
Oh yeah, over here, yeah.
Yeah, it appears every once in a while.
The moon is funny with its weird gravity. This was such a weird thing to make. I'm glad we did though.
Yeah.
I think it was like vaguely inspired by like was Mario Odyssey out at this point?
Yeah, for sure.
So that might have been part of it. But also it was just like really fun and weird, and we
I
wanted
think
to
it was
do
mostly because we decided to put the new campaign into space because we didn't have any
that was
space
definitely
left
part
on-
of it. But I was
Yeah.
also really excited by the idea of making the moon a level.
Yeah.
I was like, that makes
Seems
the most
appropriate,
sense to
though.
me. Is like, where else would you build a theme park if you've done it to the entire world? Oh, well, there's the moon. I'm just waiting for the guest to show up.
Sure, if it was a guest or a coin or there was something.
I think there is a coin. It might be both. There's the rocket. Because I recall setting it up in the editor. Or at least looking at it in the editor. I'll give it a little bit of time because it's funny. It's vaguely funny. Might take a bit though. I think it orbits all the way around.
Yeah.
It's like half planet.
Real time.
I'll just mention while we wait, the constellations you see, Sebastian made a whole system that lets you draw lines between stars.
Yeah, you really wanted those constellations.
They look cool!
Yeah.
I think I could have made more actually, but I didn't want to make it too dense. Also, I like the space music is kind of a slowed down version of the normal music. It's a unique track, it just has the right mood.
Yeah, I don't even think you can play it in game. Just on this map.
Yeah. I guess it like flew into the sun or something. It goes across, it like follows the curvature. Should have put a cheat button in.
It's somewhere eventually. So
There is a coin though at the same time as a guest. Rock spawner. Oh well, none of that because it takes too long.
yeah, guess it's time to end it.
I think that's it. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us, everybody, asking questions and just watching us make a bit of a fool of ourselves playing a game we don't play very often, even though we made it. And kind of reminiscing, you know.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah,
Really enjoyed
that was really fun. Well,
maybe you could do it again for the next game.
Yeah, just to remind everybody, we do have the Reddit AMA coming up, 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. Oh, I don't know what that is in European time, Sebastian.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. in, I think, Central European.
Yes.
Cool, yeah, so if you want to read some answers or ask a question. Oh, there's Robin posting for us. Thanks, Robin. Yeah, we'll be around. But yeah, thanks again. That's it. We will talk to everybody later. Have a good one.